Okay, good day students. Since we are done solving quadratic equations using factoring, now this time we are going to solve quadratic equations using extracting square roots. Okay, example number 1. X squared equals 121. Okay, by the way, make it sure that naka-memorize lahat sa perfect square. Okay. Going back to our example number 1, x squared equals 121. Okay? First step, you are going to apply square root property both sides. So we have square root. Then after that, you are going to cancel the radical sign and as well as the 2 or the exponent of your variable x. So the remaining is x equals, since 121 is a perfect square, so the answer is plus minus 11. So our roots or values now is positive 11 and negative 11 or negative 11. Okay, to check if our answer is correct, we have checking. Go back to our original equation. We have x squared equals 121. And then substitute the given values to your x variable. So we have 11 squared equals 121. 11 times 11 or 11 squared is 121 equals 121. Meaning our answer is correct or the root is correct. Okay, how about negative 11? So we have x squared equals 121. So we have negative 11 squared equals 121. If you're going to multiply both negative, the answer or the product is always positive. So 121 is equal to 121. Meaning both negative and positive are all correct. Okay, let's have example number 2. 4x squared equals 64. Okay, earlier, the variable of our x is 1. And this time, more than 1, which is 4. Okay, our first step now is to divide both sides by 4. Why? Because the numerical coefficient of your variable x here is 4. If ever that the numerical coefficient is 5, you're going to divide both sides by 5, depending on the numerical coefficient of your variable. So that it will be cancelled. And the remaining is x squared equals, if you're going to divide 64 divided by 4, the answer is 16. Next, apply square root property. So, x squared and 16. So, the radical sign of your x squared and the exponent 2 is being cancelled. So, the answer is x equals plus minus 4. Why is it plus minus 4? Because 16 is a perfect square. So our roots now is positive 4 or negative 4. Okay, again, to check if our answer is correct, so let's have negative 4. So we are going to substitute negative 4 to our original equation. We have 4x squared equals 64. Okay? 4 times negative 4 squared equals 64. Next, negative 4 squared or negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16 equals 64. And then 4 multiplied by 16 is 64 equals 64. Meaning our answer is correct. And then try it by yourself, checking using positive 4 if our answer is also correct. Example number 3. 4x squared equals 81. And our first step is to divide both sides by 4 since our numerical coefficient here is 4. So we have divided by 4 and then cancel. So we have x squared equals, since hindi ma-divide ang 81 by 4, dapat yung answer is whole number. Since hindi siya whole number, so we are going to copy 81 over 4. And then, apply square root property. We have square root both sides. Then, cancel. X equals. Now, this time, we are going to get the perfect square of both numerator and denominator. Now, since square root of 81 is 9, and square root of 4 is 2, so your answer is positive and negative 9 halves. Or, we have x sub 1 equals 9 over 2, and your x sub 2 is negative 9 over 2. Okay? Then, check it by yourself if our roots are correct. Okay, let's have example number 4. The quantity of x plus 2 squared minus 81 equals 0. Okay, transpose the negative 1 to the right side. So we have x plus 2 squared equals positive 81. And then, apply square root property. Both sides. So, cancel the radical sign and the square. So, we have x plus 2 equals plus minus 9. Since 81 is a perfect square. So, make it sure that the left side of your values are or is variable only. So, transpose the 2 to the right side. So, we have x equals negative 2 plus minus 9. From positive to negative 2. So, we have x sub 1 and x sub 2. So, your x sub 1 here is negative 2 plus 9 equals negative 2 plus 9 is positive 7. So, that is your x sub 1. Your x sub 2 is negative 2 minus 9 equals negative 11. So, if x sub 1, negative 2 plus 9, and the x sub 2, negative 2 minus 9. So, we have 7 and negative 11. Okay, to check if our answer is correct, you are going to transpose or substitute the 7 and negative 11 to your x variable. Okay, so we have checking here. So, x plus 2 squared equals or minus 81 equals 0. So, we have 7. 7 plus 2 squared minus 81 equals 0. So, 7 plus 2 is 9 squared minus 81 equals 0. So, 9 squared or 9 times 9 is 81 minus 81 equals 0. Since the answer here is 0 equals 0, meaning the number 7 or your root 7 is correct. And then, try it by your own, checking using negative 11 value. Okay? Okay, let's have example number 5. X squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 64. Since the left side is a perfect square trinomial, we can rewrite it by x minus 2 squared equals 64. Okay, to check if our answer is correct, x times x is x squared. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Okay, next, extracting square roots or apply square root property. So we have radical signs of both sides. So cancel and cancel. So ang iwan is x minus 2 equals, now since 64 is a perfect square or square root of 64, so the answer is plus minus 8. And then transpose the negative 2 to the right side para ang naiwan is variable na lang, which is x. So we have x equals positive 2 plus minus 8. Okay, we have x sub 1 and x sub 2. Your x sub 1 is 2 plus 8 equals 10. So that is our x sub 1. And your x sub 2 is 2 minus 8 equals negative 6. So the solution set is x equals 10 or x equals negative 6. Okay, to check if our answer or solution sets are correct. Okay, go back to our original equation. Checking, we have x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 64. Okay, substitute 10 to the variable x. So we have 10 squared minus 4 times 10 plus 4 equals 64. 10 times 10 or 10 squared is 100 minus 40 plus 4 equals 64. 100 minus 40 is 60 plus 4 equals 64. Then add the two numbers. We have 64 equals 64. Meaning the 10 is correct or the solution 10 is correct. And now please try to check if negative 6 is also correct. So try it by your own. Example number 6. We have x squared plus 36 equals 0. Okay? Transpose the 36 here to the right side. So we have x squared equals negative 36. And then apply square root property. So we have x equals plus minus square root of negative 36. Now this is our final answer. Notice that the radicand is negative, and we all know that a negative radicand has no square root in the set of real numbers. So in other words, square root of negative 36 is not a real number. However, it does not mean that there is absolutely no solution. But we have a definition that square root of negative n equals plus minus square root of n I. So, square root of negative 36 equals plus minus 6i or imaginary. Therefore, there is no real solution.